Imagine the scene, the temple in Jerusalem, one of the most glorious edifices ever built, made out of marble, copper, gold, bronze. And there, in the midst of the temple, were the Kohanim, the priests, decked out in their fine linen outfits, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, in his fine golden raiments. And then there appears the king of Israel, King Solomon himself, or one of his descendants, coming in, accompanied, of course, by his entourage, carrying the little Sefer Torah, the Torah scroll that was always at his side. And surrounding him in the courtyard of the temple, hundreds and thousands of Jewish people who have come up to the temple for the ceremony known as Hakel, the gathering. This is a ceremony described in our parashah that took place once every 7 years on the festival of Sukkot. And at this ceremony, the king of Israel himself would read from the Sefer Torah aloud in the presence of as many Jews as possible, if not the entire population. He would read portions from the book of Devarim. It was very inspiring, it was very moving, and it allowed people to then take that inspiration into the rest of the year. Who had to be at this gathering? And the Torah tells us everybody. Ha'anashim, the men, hanashim, the women, v'hataf, and the little children. Now the Talmud is perplexed. Well, we can understand the men and the women, that they're going to benefit from it. V'hataf, but the little children, how are they going to benefit from it? They're not going to really understand what's going on. They're going to run around, they're going to point, they're going to play games, they're going to make a noise. Everybody's going to turn it to them and say, shh, be quiet, little boy, little girl, don't make a noise. What is the benefit of bringing them? And the Talmud gives a strange answer. It says it's to give reward to those who bring them. They themselves don't benefit, but it's to give reward to those who bring them. Well, what does this mean exactly? Well, let's try to understand it by looking at the issue of bringing children in to shul services. This is a matter that's created a great deal of tension throughout Jewish history because it's a difficult balance to create. On the one hand, there is the importance of educating children. There's nothing more important than that in the Torah. It's one of the fundamentals of our faith. It says in the Shema, V'shinantan levanecha, teach your children, teach them diligently. The 4 sons of the Seder. Over and over again, we're told to instruct our children. So we have to let them see such things, to experience all of the different ceremonies of Jewish life, of learning. And not just to hear it, but actually to see it. Not just to read about it, but to experience it. But on the other hand, the shul is a makom kadosh, it's a holy place. You can't have children running around and making a noise and leaving their sweets all over the place, disturbing the rabbi when he's making his sermon, or the chazan when he's leading the services, or the person who's reading the Torah. And this is a difficult point. We find this, for example, in the laws of Purim, because on the one hand, everybody has to listen to the Megillah, all 10 chapters of the Megillah. It's very long. You have to listen to every word. There has to be silence. On the other hand, you want the children to come and enjoy the whole spirit of Purim and to make a noise when they say Haman's name. So yes, there has to be quiet, but you also have to involve the children. Or as one of my colleagues put it, a shul with lots of noisy children is not very nice. But a shul without the noise of young children has no future. So how do we balance this tension? And it's something that I felt personally. Before I had children, before I was a father, I used to get very irritated when little children ran around in shul. Now that I am a father and the children are my children and they're the culprits, well, it doesn't bother me as much. And I sort of drown out the noise. It's a background noise. But for sure, there are people who are irritated by this. So what do we do? How do we create the balance? And indeed, the codes try to deal with us and they say, bring your children. But bring them to those parts of the service where perhaps they will not really cause such a disturbance. Bring them to kiss the Sefer Torah, but then send them out to play. They're only children. You can't expect them to sit through the entire service. And if we go back to the Hakel ceremony, there the sages tell us that bringing the children perhaps is not that beneficial for them at the moment. They don't really understand what's going on. But it's to give reward to those who bring them. How is it giving reward to those who bring them? Because those who bring them, their parents, are making a fundamental decision over here. They are realizing that to educate our children, it's not enough just to send them to school or to teach them what to do. We have to show them what to do. We have to show them that we live Judaism. We have to be that personal example. We can't tell a child, you keep Shabbat when we don't keep Shabbat. We can't tell a child, you keep kosher when we don't keep kosher. We can't tell a child, go to shul, and we don't go to shul. We bring them up to the temple. They don't understand it, but perhaps at some later point in their life, they will remember. You know what? I was a little kid and I remember. My mother, my father, they took me up to the temple, and that made an incredible impact upon us. And more than anything in this world where we have so little time for our children and we leave it up to the schools to educate them, we should never forget this lesson of the Hakel, of the year of gathering, that we are the ones who educate our children, and we educate them through personal example. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.